Now they're finally saying it. I've been preparing you for this for a while. I've known we're heading for it. But now it's coming out just as people are getting ready, or if I know tens of millions have already voted, but we're getting ready to see the results on Election Day. You're having experts, public policy folks, you're having them say out loud that we should just get used to this new normal of lockdowns and social distancing and masks, that this is basically going to be life for the foreseeable future. Let me just say that to that, I say no. I refuse. And increasingly, we're going to have to get to a place where the refusal is not just verbal. It's not just part of a debate. It's going to have to turn into action. And I mean, I've told my family, if New York goes and says they're going to start outdoor masking on pain of a summons or arrest, I'm going to get arrested. I'm not wearing a mask outside. And that's fine. I'll go quietly. The officers will know. They can process me. It won't be any, I'm not going to make any noise about it, but they're going to have to arrest me because this is just crazy. These people are lunatics now that think that we're going to stop this by just, wear a mask, put the mask on outside, inside, in the shower, in the bed, put a mask on. No, not doing it. Not doing it. They still won't even answer the question why we haven't done this. I mean, I've been alive for 38 years. And never in my lifetime has it been suggested that we all need to wear masks to save 40, 50, 60,000 people every year from the flu. I mean, if it was so easy and such a minimal imposition, why didn't any of our brilliant public health professionals say this? Look, they don't have any answers, friends. They can't protect us. So now this just becomes the go-to, right? And it's a little bit like what you hear. This is a similar mentality. Why are the schools, public schools, not better? Why can't we close achievement gaps between different groups, richer and poorer students? And why? Oh, it needs more money. Well, but there might be other problems. Or maybe we're not doing some things the right. Nope, just needs more money. That's the way that they really view masking now. I just need more masks. We wear more masks, everything gets better. Oh, it's not going well, you're not wearing enough masks. They are monomaniacal about masking. That's what's happening here. You have MSNBC's medical guest, Dr. William Schaffner. Not like Shatner is the Priceline guy, right? That's a different guy. William Schaffner, who's telling you all this is the way it's going to be. Get used to it. Play 5.
Yeah, well, I think Tony is washing his hands literally and figuratively of all the nonsense and focusing on the basic issue. If we could control the virus, if we could reduce its spread, then we can open up more comfortably, carefully, but we must do it carefully. There's no sense that we can just do it in a carefree fashion. But if we could control the virus's spread in the community, then indeed we could all enjoy each other's company at some distance in this new normal.
The new normal, folks. Enjoy each other at a distance. No more parties, no more weddings, no more graduations, no more, live concerts, just give it all up. Let the Faucis of the world tell you what you can do, what your life gets to be like now. If you don't, you object to science, and you're literally killing people. This is the country we live in now. This is America we're talking about here, where this has become mainstream. This has become what the experts are telling us. We have vaccines that are a month or two from approval and perhaps even 2 to 3 months from the early stages of distribution. And we're still talking about how we got to have masking and social distancing now as the new normal. Oh. So now what they say is different from what they were telling us at the beginning when we knew far less, when the virus was believed to be much more dangerous than we now know it is. And they want to maintain all these levers of control. Here's the problem. They can't control the virus. They can only control us. They cannot control this virus. They cannot stop this virus. And so what do? They go with this moral blackmail of you better listen to us or else you're responsible for killing grandma. And this has been an argument that they've been making all along. This has been a thing that they've been saying from the very beginning, and it's madness. And you can see how crazy it is by the lunatics who really love this kind of thinking and have really adopted it as part of what they say about everything. You have, are we gonna hear from Keith again? Are we gonna hear from Crazy Keith? Here I am, sounding like I'm reading the text of a Shakespearean play, but really I'm just doing left-wing talking points. Miss Precious Perfect. The co-op board would not allow me to continue to live with my beloved feline. Keith Olbermann. Keith Olbermann, what a stupid person thinks a smart person sounds like. He built quite a career off of that. But here he is. I will say, he has found a way, and what did he call me recently? Tex sex bump or buck sex or something? Or he had some name for me on Twitter, which I have to say I thought it was pretty funny. I think it was Tex sex bump, which I like. Reminds me of years ago, there was a Team Buck member who wrote in and said his wife, who was an immigrant, called me bub sexual. So, yeah, that was a thing that happened. So, sexual with a T. Here is Crazy Keith making sure that we all, not only do we have the public health experts now telling us that we can't have our normal lives back, probably ever, but Crazy Keith wants you to know that Trump is it's not that he hasn't been perfect in his COVID response. He literally should be prosecuted for the murder of every single person in this country who has died of COVID. Play 10.
We are all tired, but mostly I'm tired of the needless sickness and the needless death and the needless terror because this mentally incompetent, inhuman, dumb bastard has lied about this disease in 1,000 different ways, a different way for each different political need he has sensed. And I'm tired of the thought that we're now going to repeat the months of March and April in this country, a country that should have learned something, but which in large part has been authorized to wallow and die in its own stupidity because of one man, one dumb bastard, one selfish son of a bitch, one real-life Major French attacking the only hope we have, the science, and insisting science is wrong and Fauci is an idiot and only I can save you, and insisting you can do whatever you want and the disease affects almost nobody. Donald Trump should be on trial for 220,000 murders, death penalty for each count.
Oh, man, he really is in the midst of some kind of a cry for help or a public breakdown or something. I don't know. One of the most despised people, including by former members of his own staff who have ever worked in media. They were going to bring him back to MSNBC at one point, but from what I heard, people were revolting at the notion and said that he couldn't be in the building if they were going to bring him back to MSNBC. They would have to find an alternate studio for him because nobody wanted to be around him or work near him. So he was the biggest draw at MSNBC for years during the Bush administration. People actually thought he was smart and worth listening to. He says the president should be on trial, a death penalty count for a virus that spreads freely in the air that came from China. Wow. Also, 200,000 death penalty counts would be a lot, that's for sure. I just want to know, does he feel the same way about all the European leaders who now have if you look at the EU, they have roughly 400 million people and about the same number of deaths that we have with 330 million people. So we're right in line with the EU, maybe a few more deaths per capita. And that's compared to the EU. There are European countries. Right? Remember, the EU doesn't have one policy for COVID, so that's just a landmass or really a political union of sorts. But it doesn't look at the way different governments have responded to this. If you look on a nation-state basis, Italy worse than us, Spain worse than us, UK worse than us. This is just per capita death rates. Belgium worse than us. France, I think, very close. Germany, I think, a little better. But I'd have to ask, if we had people that even cared what Keith Olbermann thinks. Now it's really just, it's like outrage performance theater. The guy's an idiot. But he became rich by telling stupid libs what they want to hear. So you got to give credit to the hustle. The game worked well for this guy for years. Now he's just kind of sad and past his prime and nobody cares. But But I got to tell you this. He says that the president should be on trial for all this. I need to know why the prime minister in the UK and why the president of France and why, go through all of your European heads of state. Why shouldn't they be on trial too? Because they've had lots of people that have died from this. Maybe it's just a virus that hit humanity that was going to kill people no matter what we did. And now we should just understand that we should get back to life as quickly as possible, because they're just starting to tabulate. It's just starting to calculate how many people have died from drug overdoses, from missed cancer screenings that have turned into now inoperable cancers or, lethal terminal cancers. And a lot of people are being ruined and being killed by all that, too, because of these lockdowns. And you read these stories, these absolutely heartbreaking stories about senior citizens who are saying, I'm 80, I'm 85. I don't want to be around people who are sick, but I also want to be around my family. I want to be around my loved ones. I don't have that many years. When you're 85, no matter who you are, and everyone who's 85 listening to this knows, you might have 5, 10, maybe 15 years left. Maybe, right? This is just human truth, human reality. And a lot of people who are 80, pushing 85, 90 years old want to be around their loved ones. They want to live their best life. They don't want to be alone. They don't want to stay separated from those who matter most to them. When they could get COVID and die. They also could have a stroke. They also could suffer a heart attack, any number of other maladies that still kill far more people in this country every day than COVID-19. Shouldn't they be allowed to make choices? Shouldn't we all be allowed to make choices about our own health? And by the way, if there's an 85-year-old listening to this who wants to be on total lockdown, stay in their home, no judgment. God bless, and let's make sure that there are people in the community to get them food and to lift their spirits and to make sure they have access to FaceTime and enough good books and entertainment while they ride out this pandemic. That's all fine. What we have, though, is a government that wants to force us to do all of these things, and it's training us. And this is what troubles me so much. It's training us to obey or else. And I'm sorry, but I thought this was America, and we weren't supposed to just obey the whims of government, the whims of governors taking emergency powers. I mean, how different is this really from martial law in a sense? They're telling you stay in your home, can't open your business, can't see other people, and if you try, we'll send the cops after you. There should be far more pushback on this, and I think that one of the reasons that Trump and Trump supporters don't make a bigger scene about this is because, unfortunately, the Democrats have scared, and the media have scared people so much over this, that telling people the truth about what we should do now with regard to COVID might be a political liability in the general election. Telling people that we don't have a silver bullet for this, and it's still going to be around, and we're going to have to live with this. That's one of those truths. I'm not sure a majority. A lot of people want to hear it. I think a lot of you know it and want to hear it. But I'm not sure a majority of the American people are ready for that yet. They've been told, hide, listen to Fauci, whatever he says. And we're suffering, and the country's going through disaster after disaster because of it. Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.